Welcome to the Songwriter Connection, the podcast that delves deep into the art and heart of songwriting. Each week, we gather around the dining room table to uncover the stories behind the songs. We invite you to join us on a journey to the creative minds of the songwriters who shape the melodies of our lives. From Nashville, Tennessee, here's your host, Dave Lenahan.
Kate started something there. People have been calling me Delving Dave now. Delving Dave on the podcast. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. And I have to say, this is episode number 179, and I've been saving this date. It's October 23rd because we've got a special guest back. Rock star Cindy Alter is back with us, and it's good to have you, Cindy. And her mastering engineer, Steve Creech, who's been on the show before. Hi, Steve.
Hey, guys.
And we're going to talk to you both, and we've got so much to catch up on. You were here last on episode 123, and we're going to catch up on. Before we do, though, I want to just take a time, just a little bit, to salute a friend who we lost very recently. I hadn't known him all that long, but I'll tell you what, he's the kind of guy that you felt when you met him that you knew all of your life. And it started with a phone call from Mark Allen Barnett. Mark's been on the show many times, has helped me co-host from time to time, and he calls me one day. He goes, "Dude, you've got to meet this guy. You and him would have so much in common. He's been in the industry for years. He's got a podcast called The Business Side of the Business Side of Music, which I'd heard of. It's a big podcast." And so we met, and I met Bob Bender and his lovely wife, Debbie, at McNamara's, and we all sat down over fish and chips and Guinness, and we got to know each other. A legend. The guy, record exec, a tour manager, and worked with people like Billy Preston and Ringo Starr and many, many others. He invited me on his podcast, and then I invited him, and he and Steve Creech and Mark Allen Barnett, they all joined us, and it was a great episode. And if you haven't listened to it, go back and find that episode on the business side of music. I mentioned this because we lost him this past weekend. He succumbed to cancer, and I'll say it, cancer sucks. I lost my brother to cancer about 11 years ago. Bob, I wish I'd have known you longer. But like I said, when I met you and we talked, I felt like I knew you all my life. And I'm really sad to have lost that friend. And I know, Steve, he was a dear friend of you too, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
God, I'm so sorry to hear this. And especially the cancer thing, because, I relate to that so much.
You're a cancer survivor.
I'm a cancer survivor. And I've always asked the question, who gets to be saved?
Yeah.
Who's just more deserving of being saved? And it's so random that you cannot even ask it, because I kept asking myself that question afterwards. There's other people that are more deserving of being alive.
Yeah.
But
and see, for me, like with my brother, I was the older brother, and I'm like, well, if you're going to take one of us, he's got 3 kids, I got none. Why didn't you take me?
See, that's the question. It's like, who's more deserving? And what I have realized is we are all deserving of life, and we're all going to end up dead. So no matter what,
something's going to get you.
Something's going to get you. And I've always also said about the cancer thing that, yes, we are all going to end up one way. Of course, we can try and pretend that we're not aging and all that stuff, but it's how we live.
Yeah.
Until we die.
Live until we die.
How you live until you die is all that matters.
Oh, Cindy, that's beautiful. Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to pay my respects and say rest in peace, Bob. What a great guy. And his lovely wife, Debbie, our hearts and our prayer are with you. So let's move on. I want to talk to, let's start with Cindy. I just read this book. I love your book.
Oh my God.
No Substitute. Okay. So if you read, I just want to read, Tim Hill did the prelude here to the book. He said, Cindy Alter, and this explains. If you haven't heard Cindy's past podcast, was episode 123. Check it out. But I'll tell you a little bit about Cindy. Cindy Alter, an internationally successful, award-winning, chart-topping, multi-million album-selling singer-songwriter from South Africa. As front lady of bands including Clout, Zia, and Alter Irving?
Yes, correct.
My favorite band that you were in. The name, the Syndicate. I love that.
Did you like that?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. And at the time it said no fewer than 13 albums. It's more than that, I imagine now. In fact, you got a new one we're going to be talking about here today. And it's taken her to all corners of the globe, including Germany, Holland, England, and America. She's also a published poet. Spent 15 years living and working on the music scene in L.A., and she's here in Nashville and fresh back from South Africa. Big trip, huh?
Yes, I did.
Tell us about that one.
I got a random, obviously, people that don't know, I was born in South Africa, lived in LA for a long time, went back to South Africa, and now I'm in my dream town, Nashville. I wanted to be here for so long. Yeah. And I got a random email from a promoter who lives in Dubai, ex-South African. Mm-hmm. He says, we're having a big party dance tour. Mm-hmm. It's just only two shows in South Africa in October. We'd love you to open for these two dance acts. One's called Two Unlimited, and the other one's this guy called Sandman or something. I can't remember his name. He's the guy that did, you've got to move it. You've got to move it. So it was all those dance things.
Wow.
And the Two Unlimited were this like, no, let the limit. So big dance things. I'm like, you want me to open for these dance acts? It's like, I've done some weird things in my time, and I never say no. I'm the girl who never says no. just for your information. But it's, and so we've been planning it and getting it together, and I said, look, I want to use my band. I don't want to play to backing tracks. Uh-huh. It's just, that doesn't work for me.
So you brought the band?
Well, I didn't bring a band. I have a band still in South Africa.
Okay, yeah.
It's a 3-piece band, really good players, lovely guys.
Wow.
And so they were jumping around like, we're going to work with you again. We didn't think we'd ever work with you again because you were gone, baby, gone. So it was phenomenal. It was just
a great show.
Fabulous show. It was a big hall. And the people that came to see me particularly, I played a lot of my new songs for them.
Yeah.
And when you play new songs for an audience that haven't heard your new songs, usually they lose interest kind of quickly. They just smile and they're
taking a chance.
Okay, you're taking a chance, but you've got to start playing them and start getting people to hear them.
You do.
And I had these amazing feelings of when music touches you, it doesn't matter whether you've heard it before, you haven't heard it before.
Yeah.
It's going to move you.
It is. It's got to.
It's got to move you.
Yeah.
If you're a human with a pulse,
Yeah. You tell that story, and again, Cindy, big rock star, the Clout in Substitute. The book is called No Substitute. Mm-hmm. And by the way, I want to tell you, when you were doing when you were 2021, you were doing the rock star scene.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people who pick up a guitar, like even me especially, doing the Beatles in front of the mirror, and you dream of those days.
Yeah.
And I lived it vicariously through you in this book, which I absolutely love, and I recommend it to everybody. But I was thinking you're talking about taking a chance with new music, and I think of the Ricky Nelson story, right? When he came back to play after being off the charts for years and years, started playing the new stuff, and everybody's yelling at him, we want to hear the old hits, Traveling Man, where's all that? Yeah. And then he it destroyed, and then he wrote the song Garden Party, So was it a little like that or no? Did you feel like you were taking a big chance? Or
look, I don't really care about chances because I've taken so many chances.
I love that. I love that answer.
It's like throw it out there. If it sticks, great. If it doesn't, move on.
Yeah, I
haven't got time to sort of sit and in the, I'll say quicksand.
Yeah.
Because we can get sucked in. We're so obsessed with the minutiae of, does this mean something? Is somebody going to feel it? Mm-hmm. And we get so involved in that we're actually missing the whole story. Just get out there and play, man.
Yeah.
Get out there and enjoy yourself.
Do you? Yeah.
And do you, because you are a musician. Hopefully they're going to connect. And I always try and connect. That is a big thing for me.
Yeah.
To me, connection is everything. And if you see one person looking at you, already you got somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't a chance. It was like, I'm here to play my new music and my old music. Here we go. And everybody's like, okay, cool. We're coming along.
We're going to have fun.
We're going to be on the ride with you.
That's great. And speaking of that, I've seen you perform now.
Yes.
You do the. I've been to 2 of your shows at the City Winery. You've got a great band here in Nashville.
Thank you.
And you even had my friend Robin Ruddy last time.
Yes,
Robin. And this guy named Steve Creech brought you out. I remember him. Remember that, Steve? He was all dressed up. I didn't recognize you. You had like a sport coat and stuff.
I think I was drunk. I don't know.
on that wine.
No, you weren't drunk yet. Sorry.
But the way you command an audience is what I'm saying. I mean, you reach out and you make everybody a part of it, and it was just such a pleasure to watch you perform. And you entertain. I mean, she reads the crowd, she entertains, she throws in surprises that you wouldn't expect. The first time I saw you were playing, you played a Led Zeppelin song. It was a whole lot of love, and they killed it. You know, so it was just a pleasure. And you know, I got to meet Steve. We got to meet Sir Freddie Cannon.
Yes.
At their last show.
Freddie is an old friend of mine. You know, Freddie signed Clout, my first band.
Yeah.
In the UK. He was working in the UK for a big record company.
And when we say Sir, folks,
yes.
he's
knighted.
Yes.
He is knighted.
Yeah, and he was telling me how he traveled the globe with Paul McCartney. Paul and I. And
well,
like,
hello.
Yeah.
Oh, just Paul and I were just hanging out,
yeah.
you know. Don't you like that?
What a great guy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Freddie's been around. He's a good friend. I didn't even know he existed up until like maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago maybe. He reached out and said, "Hey, Cindy, this is me, Freddie, blah, 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 blah." And I said, "Hey, I'm moving back to South Africa from LA. Keep in touch." And we sort of did. And then I came to Nashville in 2016 to do a little recce, to check out and to sort of try and make some contacts and do some shows. And Fred said, "Hey, do you want to do a little album?" And I'm like, who says no to that? Do you want to do an album in Nashville with Freddie Cannon? I mean, hello. But he wanted
Check
to do...
schedule.
Yeah, you know, oopsie, I'm sorry, I've got like 5 minutes.
Have my girl call you. Yeah, no.
Yeah, just call my secretary, just organize a lunch, you know,
Yeah, exactly.
we'll do lunch. So we did this thing, and we did, obviously, he wanted to redo a whole bunch of songs of mine that he'd loved of me during the years.
Yeah.
And he did them, and then he said to me, "Can we throw in a cover song?" I said, "Sure, I love doing covers, you know." And he said, the song was written by a Nashville couple.
Oh, yeah?
You know, the Boudelets, what they're called.
Oh, Felice and Boudelet, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. They wrote Rocky Top.
Yeah, they wrote huge stuff. And he said, "Do Love Hurts?" And I'm like,
love that
and
song.
I started to play it in the studio. Love hurts.
Oh, yeah.
Love scars. He says, "Stop. Record." We did like one take.
One take?
One take. It came so from the heart.
Oh, my. What a beautiful song.
It was just a gorgeous song and slow, you know.
Yeah.
But I just thought, I'm doing this song in Nashville. The people that wrote it are from here. There was just so much to feel about.
Oh, man. Yeah. And that song is so powerful. And the first time I saw you at the City Winery and you did that song, it just blew us away. It was unexpected, but it was such an amazing moment. And it blew us away. Love Hurts. Oh, a lot of people remember in the late 70s, Nazareth.
I loved their version. It was totally cool.
Totally cool.
Because that was the version that really came out and became a popular song. It commercialized the song, you know.
I would say the Everly Brothers, Steve. Who was it? The Everly Brothers did it first, I want to say.
I don't
Or was it Roy
know.
Orbison? It was, it's one of, but yeah.
We should look that up.
But it's yours now.
Google it. Oh, baby. It's yours now. Thank you. I'll take it.
All right, Google. Who originally did Love Hurts? Who originally did it? Here we go. Searching. Everly Brothers.
It was. You were right.
Always go with your
I'm
first
very
guess.
impressed with that. Because, I just love the Everly Brothers.
Oh, their harmonies, that blood harmony.
That thing, and Unchained Melody and all that stuff was
Unchained
like
Melody, yeah.
untouchable.
And you lost that loving feeling.
Oh,
that was the other brothers, Righteous Brothers. You know, I was thinking Righteous Brothers. I'll tell you why.
Because of Substitute.
Because of Substitute, they did it first, didn't they?
It was on and out. It was written by Willie Wilson.
Willie Wilson, old blues guy.
Yes,
yeah.
And literally, if you hear their version, it was, girl, boom,
Yeah.
you've been waiting much too long. It was totally that.
Yeah. It was great.
And then our producer, he was very clever. He was a really good producer. And the Clout thing, that was our first single out the gate, you know.
Yeah.
And he said, I
Instant
like
stardom.
the song. His wife liked the song. She says, listen to the song and do something with it. And he did. Do something with
Just
it.
do something with it.
Just like put some paprika on, a little bit of mustard, you know, take it out of that bowl.
Ketchup reduction. You know?
Ketchup reduction.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're a chef, are you?
Not at all. I have no idea what I just said.
Sounded good, though.
But man, that song hit so fast and
Yeah.
changed your life, didn't
Yeah.
it? How old were you at the time,
I was
Cindy?
21.
21.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you imagine?
And it went viral, and there was no such thing as viral in those days. It just
did.
It hit
Blew up.
at the right time. You know, when a song just goes mad.
Yeah.
And what I have, you know, people say to me, "Aren't you sick of doing this song?" I've done it a zillion times.
I bet you have.
I am so sick of it. But if it wasn't for that song, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
You sit here, yeah.
Because that song led me to today in Nashville.
I don't know. You know what I think? I think there'd have been another one. There'd have been another song. You'd still be sitting here. There'd have been another one.
Okay, thank you for
That's what I'm
that. I
thinking.
appreciate you saying it.
Because talent, you know.
Yeah, but you know, you never know what's how many talented people do you know that have never cracked it or found the big one,
Found the right song, yeah.
or the big breakout thing, and they become the star they dreamed of.
You got a point there.
I mean it.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was living in LA, I used to do this. I used to go to this amazing series of songwriters in Santa Barbara at the Libero Theater. Gorgeous theater. I think it's 500 seater or something. And they had this series going. It was people like John Hyatt, Richard Thompson, Nickel Creek.
Oh, love them.
Gypsy Kings.
Wow.
They were putting on people that were sometimes left field that you don't hear about every day. And these people, I call them the sort of underground of the songwriters that you don't hear of every day. Didn't do. I mean, John Hyatt is probably one of the best songwriters I've ever known.
I always love him and his daughter Lily.
I love it.
used to do
Yeah.
well,
You know, there's so much stuff out there, but it's not on the radio.
Yeah.
You're not going to hear it on somebody's record station.
It's
You know, because
sad.
it's just not there. So those kind of examples,
Yeah.
that there's only certain people that know about these people. Mm-hmm. You know?
the cult following.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I always like discovering people like that, you know.
I love it. I
Where
mean,
you
it was
been? Wow.
Gillian Welsh.
Oh my gosh.
You know, she was a regular on these things. Glenn Phillips, he used to play with Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What a great songwriter. Beautiful. And I used to go there and gag and like, I want to be there. And they gave me a slot one night.
Wow.
Oh my God, that was something.
I
It was
bet
like
so.
coming to, it was
Yeah.
magical.
Yeah.
500 people, pin drop.
Wow.
Pin drop.
Drop.
The one song was a song I'd written called Liquid Fire.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, I'd do this kind of a cappella thing where the band drops out. I just stood there in this silent, beautiful theatre, singing by myself.
Wow.
You know, hear the siren sound across the town. And everybody was like, it was a moment.
Not bad.
And you know, there's those moments that the rock and roll thing and playing live and everything, it's the moments that you really you hold on to and cherish.
Take to your heart. Yeah. That was one of those moments.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, let's talk about what you're doing today.
Okay.
You've been in Nashville for how long now?
It's 2.5 years. In
2.5
February,
years.
I will have only been here 3 years.
Yeah. Now, you were telling me off mic before we started
Yes.
how much you feel you've grown as a writer and an
Yes.
artist. So can you tell us in what ways? And
Firstly, my dream to come to Nashville started in LA when I used to come here and just walk around. Just literally walk around. I was terrified to even walk into a place and say, can I sing? I was terrified. I was I think I was sort of intimidated by the myth. You know, Nashville, the myth
know
of
I always
Nashville.
was. Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
It's like, oh my God, it's Nashville, you know. So, boom, boom, boom. Fast forward to, 2022 when I arrived here. And I did not come here expecting anything. I came here to fulfill a dream. And I thought, whatever happens from here, whatever I take from here, will be better than what I had before. Because it will, in some way, just the environment, force me to grow.
In our last podcast, you talked about the smell of Nashville.
Yeah.
The smell of creativity.
The smell of creativity, the smell of people writing songs, people expressing themselves, people coming here for that reason.
I remember driving from Cincinnati, and we'd come down here a lot to write. And you just were always filled with that inspiration.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes on the way home it would come out and we'd write a song, you know, driving home. And the songs that we wrote here were always special. So that
I just felt it. I felt it immediately and started, the stuff I was writing was already just going, whoa, okay, this is a different level.
So do you feel you're writing your best?
Absolutely.
Ever?
When I was in South Africa now, and they've heard all my songs all the years that I was there, the musicians and a lot of the people that were just saying, you're writing the best stuff.
Man.
You are really, your stuff was always good, but now it's great, you know.
Great. You've come of age. This is I'm holding the new, this is a video podcast. I'm holding the new CD. It's called Renegades and Vagabonds. Cindy Alter, beautiful picture. Love it. And tell us about the making of this CD, which Steve, you mastered this, right?
Yes, I mixed and mastered it.
One honor, huh? Yeah.
It was for me, yeah.
How'd you two meet? I met you through Cindy, I remember.
Is that right? Did I meet Dave through you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Was at the Commodore one night.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Hit it off right away. So that guy's, he's a cool dude. Yeah.
I met Steve through a friend of mine, Deb Bishop. You
Oh,
had
Deb Bishop.
on.
I ran into Paul last
Yes.
night.
Oh, really?
I saw Paul. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, he was at Puckett's where we played. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah, she's
Love
great.
it.
Love her. Yeah.
Did you play Puckett's downtown?
In Franklin.
In Franklin.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
Paul lives there.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's his hood.
Wow. Okay. Well, it's good to see him. Anyway, I'm sorry. I digress. I do that.
We
one.
all digress. Come on. What are you talking about? Put me back on the train.
There's a politician that calls
Give
it
me-
weaving.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Okay, we weave.
Is it a hair weave?
Well, I can.
That's the first thing I always think of.
I'm patting my weave right now as we sit.
We don't get political on this show.
No,
Anyway,
go
let's
ahead.
backtrack.
Yeah,
we were talking about.
It's nothing to do with politics.
Nothing.
So, I knew Deb. Deb had been talking about, I've got this friend Steve. He's a great mixing, mastering guy. He's had a really good career in his business, and he's a great guy and stuff. And I met him. She was doing some kind of, I don't know what they were doing, that dog tarot thing.
Called Temple of Dog.
Temple of Dog.
Temple of Dog.
They did some
I think they were
tarot
eating
cards.
the dogs.
And the carrots. No, it's ridiculous. Sorry. And I met you the first time there, and I thought, oh, that's a sweet guy, nice guy. And Deborah told me a bit about him. And then the next time I saw him, and the next time I saw him, we just kept seeing each other. And he was a friend, and we enjoyed each other's company. And then when I was doing my album, he just put his new studio together. He moved to Franklin, to Kentucky. Got a new house, and he just built his new studio. And I'm like, can I be your first experiment? I know you're going to have to figure out the
Do you know
studio.
how many women have asked me that? And that's how I got here.
Can I be your Frankenstein?
Yeah.
So, was there a challenge in it, Steve, for you, bringing out the best? I imagine it's brilliant to begin with, but I mean, what kind of things did you have to do to fine tune it?
Well,
Okay, don't be silly now. Just talk.
No, but
Serious.
Seriously.
okay.
We're serious.
Well, we were talking about the smell
Don't
of
weave on
Nashville,
us.
you know. It reminds me of this little toddler outside, and he says, "Hey, mister, you stink. You want to buy some cologne?" And I go, "Okay, well, what's it called?" And he says, "It's called Chanel number this many." But I don't know.
What? Never mind.
I have always, I have I think, a pretty good nose for music. I've always been able to tell who can play and who can't, who can write, who can engineer.
See, there's the thing. Some engineers have the ear for it. You have the nose.
I have a nose.
Yeah.
It's a big one. No, but I knew Cindy. I liked her immediately as a person. You know, when we were at that dog function that she was talking about. Uh-huh. She came over to me. I had my Hofner bass, and she says, "Oh, this is good." You know, she was very friendly.
Signed by Sir Paul.
Yeah. And and I had heard about her through Deb too. Same thing.
By the way, Deb has been on this podcast a few weeks back. So check it out. It was a very interesting conversation with Rev Deb. Check it out. Deb, go ahead.
Well, then, I guess the short thing, long and short, is it's you see where the chemistry is, and Cindy come in, and she's a big talent, and she's got a big personality, and she's a very loving soul.
Yes, she is.
And so she walks in the room, and I'm thinking, okay, what mic do I use for this when I'm in craft mode? Mm-hmm. But I tell you who needs to be recognized on this new CD. It's a great CD, folks. You need to hear it. Mm-hmm. A fellow named Dave Tuff. Mm-hmm. Now, Dave Tuff is a professor at Belmont, and he did a lot of the groundwork.
He plays in your band, you were Nashville.
Yes, he does. My bass player.
Yeah.
That's right. And Dave had done a lot of it, so it made it easier for me. We did some recording at the studio, and but it was a new room, and so I needed to shake the bugs out, so it took longer than it usually does.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it was a great process.
Yeah.
For me, I love being produced.
Do you?
I really do, because I don't know everything. As much as I think I'm very good or whatever it is, I don't know everything. Mm-hmm. When I go into studio, I'll just go there and naturally just get into it. And a lot of my big hits and a lot of my work has been 1 or 2 takes, 3 takes maybe.
Really?
Yeah, because I deliver it immediately because I'm committed from the start.
Wow.
It's not like, hey man, I'm just going to warm up for like 20 minutes. It's not, that's not me. I'm a feel person. I'm a groove person. Wow. If that drummer's in the groove, I'm happy. If he's not in the groove, I'm not happy. So me, as a singer, if I'm not in the groove, it's not going to work for me. So Steve was like, I think you can do that better. Eventually I was like, excuse me, I've just done it 5 times. Like, really? And he was right.
Wow.
He was right, because even though I'd done it 5 times, I didn't necessarily do what was meant to be.
Well, I have a theory about that. I've produced a lot of records over the years and mixed and mastered a lot of stuff, and I like performance people. And Cindy is a performance person. She's personable. And so you want to just let her do her thing and sing it top to bottom, and then talk about it after the fact. And if you do one little note fix or something like that, or most of the time you don't have to. But what's the norm here in this town is, let's do 5 or 6, 8 takes and leave, and I'll cut it all together.
And we'll just patch it.
Yeah, and I didn't want to do that, because you
line
lose
by line. Yeah.
Yes.
You lose momentum, and I can always tell.
Well, you can tell.
That was the thing for me also. That's all why I like to do it like that.
Yeah.
Because you do lose momentum when you start cutting and pasting and cutting and pasting. The actual, you can hear it.
Yeah.
I can hear it in a lot of stuff that, they redid that line, redid that line. Yeah. And it's not like I'm critiquing it. It's not like a critique or anything. It's just like,
you can hear it.
It's the feel. It's the groove again.
Exactly right.
If the feel isn't right, if it's not flowing,
right,
the flow.
But I'd like to say this, working with Cindy, what I thought was refreshing is that if we did a version of it, you could see it in her eyes that she's thinking about what she just did. And then I try to keep my back to the singer, unless we need to make eye contact for creative reasons. But so I could just, when I did glance at her, I'd notice that she's, I think I might, if we do it again, she'll change it just ever so slightly and improve upon it. And you get to a point, that sweet spot, and you say, okay, it's done.
Yeah.
You got to leave it alone.
I got you. Wonderful. And, you have the experience to know that, and that takes experience to bring that out and then to recognize it.
It's a coexistence.
It is.
It's
right.
like you are coexisting with somebody in the room. They've got their expertise, you've got yours, and hopefully the two of you can make it sound like the live experience.
Yeah. Wow. So we're going to play some music. Okay. I'm going to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to hear a cut from this.
Okay.
And then some live around the dining room table, because that's what we do. That's what this podcast is all
Love
about.
it.
So don't you go away. Real short break.
You're listening to The Songwriter Connection with Dave Linehan. Find us on Facebook and YouTube at The Songwriter Connection Podcast. And find Dave at thedaveconnection.com. Now back to the show with your host, Dave Linehan.
Hey, thanks for giving us a download and a listen. We appreciate it. We're approaching, as of last week, it was 1,100,000 downloads. And well, thank you for that.
That is huge. 1 million.
All over. We're really big in South Africa. I think
sure.
because of you.
Well,
You know?
you know what? People are listening to stuff.
They are.
And they get turned on to stuff because somebody shows them the way, you know?
Absolutely. Not me, though. Listen, I want to play from Renegades and Vagabonds is the new record. It's coming out in the next week or so. We're going to do single by single, right?
Yes.
Okay. Which is the way they do it digitally today. Every month or so? Or
Yeah, we're going to take a look at it because I want everybody to get the album in its entirety.
You know, I'll tell you, this is really interesting. So I've been hearing, like my first record, I did like 3 singles, and then I played at the Bluebird, which, by the way, we're playing the Bluebird together.
I am
on November
so
6th.
excited.
I can't wait. Is that going to be fantastic?
I'm so glad I was asked. Thank you so much.
That's my buddy Billy Lee. Love him. My brother from another mother.
Billy's great.
But anyway, again, we weaved. Sorry. But talking about this record, where was I going with that? No, we were talking Bluebird. Back it up. Anyway, let's talk about this song, because this is a very special song.
Yeah.
I know I want to take. I always do the commercial at this time saying, if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe, because that helps us too. Anyways, this song right here that we're going to play, She's Doing Well.
Yeah.
And it's one of my 2 favorite new songs that you do.
Oh, wow.
And my father loves this song too, and your Winchester County line, which I'm hoping you're going to play live for us.
Yes.
But tell us about the writing of this, because this song is really special, isn't it? Yeah.
This song was weird, man. This song, I started writing it in the car, not into anything because I was driving. I started with these words, she's been, she's done, she's been, I've been, who's been, blah, blah, blah. I started singing, I thought, you know what? We as people have got so many sides to us. You know, we've got our good ones, we've got our little bit naughty one, we got our strong, we got our not so strong.
Yeah.
And we have to embrace it all.
Exactly.
You know, and be okay with having all of it. I wrote this whole song over 2 days without touching a guitar.
Really?
I did not even play it ever. I wrote the whole thing. The words kept coming to me, and I would sing them into my voice recorder on my phone. Mm-hmm. And then I'd go to, when I got into work, I would just write them down. Mm-hmm. The whole song was written, and then eventually I went home and I said, okay, I'm going to figure out what key I'm going to write this in and what chords I'm going to use. I could hear the chords, obviously, because I was singing them. It was that thing. I didn't even touch an instrument. The song was written for me.
Wow.
By the gods of songwriting, or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
The universe, you know.
Akashic record, as they say.
What do they say?
I think it was Akashic. Is that the right word?
Akashic.
It's always out there. We tune in, and it
is that. Absolutely. I've always said we're just messengers.
Yeah.
We get these messages, and we are the facilitators, and we put them out.
There's a message in this song. I think not only to your fans, but to you, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Validation. Yeah. So let's listen to it. I've got it right here. It's produced and mastered by Sir Steve over there. This is She's Doing Well. Is that a Fender Strat?
I think that's what he used.
Yeah, I think it's a Strat.
I've been a fool, I've been a vagabond, I've been an angel, and I've been a child. I've been a dreamer, I've been a schemer, I have been innocent, and I've been so wild. I've been a mountain, I've been a stone, I've been flesh and bone. I've been to heaven, I've been through hell. There's a survivor in here, and for now, she's doing well. I've been a lover, and I've been untrue. I've been a fighter, and I've been misused. I've been to the ocean and to cities of gold. I was once beautiful, now I'm growing old. I've been a mountain, I've been a stone, I've been a river that ran with the fury of blood, flesh and bone. I've been to heaven, and I've been through hell. There's a survivor in here, and for now, she's doing well. Here, in these glorious days, I'm at peace with myself, and I'm amazed that I found love in this time and place when I never dreamed that I could be saved. Well, I've been a mountain, I've been a stone, I've been a river that ran with the fury of blood, flesh and bone. I've been to heaven, I've been through hell, but there's a survivor in here, and for now, she's doing well. I've been a mountain, I've been a stone, I've been a river that ran with the fury of blood, flesh and bone. I've been to heaven, I've been through hell. There's a survivor in here, and for now, she's doing well. There's a survivor in here, and for now, she's doing well.
Oh my gosh. Cindy Alter, it's kind of like a new anthem for you.
It is.
Amazing. And I love how it just slowly builds, and then just crescendos at the end. Amazing piece of work, you guys. I love it. Let's talk about, the instrumentation, like the
Yes.
Syrian guitar lead you're telling me is who?
It's John Conley. He plays with Kenny Chesney.
Wow.
And Dave knows him, of course, Dave Tuff. And he called him in on my first 3 songs that I recorded before I recorded these last 4 to
Yeah.
make the EP.
Wow.
And he said, I'm just going to call this guy. And I'm like, oh, okay. And immediately I just thought, this guy gets it.
Wow.
He just gets it. He's not, trying to do... He's not overplaying.
He wasn't.
He's just sweet in the spot, just complimenting the vibe of the song.
Exactly what the song needed.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Totally, that sound and his guitar sounds.
Yeah.
And he used a lot of different guitars on different songs and stuff. But he just had it, man.
Yeah, he
he
did.
knows what to do.
The BGVs, background vocals.
Yes.
Now tell me who's doing the oohs.
So I did them with my keyboard player who played on these tracks. Yakunel Mouton. Yakunel is from South Africa as well.
She's very talented.
She is spectacular. Yeah. This girl knows her music. She reads, she writes, she's really good. And all the organ work is her, all the B3 stuff, and it's a real B3, man.
It really is. Yeah.
I love that. That's like my heart and soul.
Oh, yeah.
So there's always this element of soul in what I do, because that's where I live.
Yeah.
I want to feel it, and I can write a pop song, and I can write a sort of a lighter song or a ballad or anything, but I love that organ, that piano, that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cindy, I was just thinking about the book, at a very early age, you knew that this is what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
I want to just play music. And all of your life deep down you knew this is what you were going to do, and there was no substitute, was there?
There was no substitute. And I always say that music chose me. It was like the muses all standing in their line and going, okay, we'll give it to that one.
Right.
We'll give it to that one.
Right.
Because from an early age, it was what inspired me. I used to hear music and I was transported so much by songs.
Yeah.
Transported by the lyrics, transported by the melody. And I believe, that song, music was my first love and it will be my last. Music of the future and music of the past.
Oh, wow. Wow. Let that sink in. Yeah. And the song means so much more to me having read the book.
Sure.
Because people think,
knowing my journey,
rock star, what a glorious life. And it's all, it's hard, isn't it?
It was a rough, tough, long
you were through
road.
A lot. And not just talking
I know.
cancer and everything, but it was not easy, was it?
I look at the artists that killed themselves or have done so many drugs that they've killed themselves through that, or have had to go into rehab and everything. I understand it. I so get it. I going through that, being that big star on stage, 100,000 people clapping for you, and then you go home and you're in that hotel room by yourself, and it's like when all the demons come to play.
Oh boy!
They come and visit. Like, hey man, you weren't really that good tonight. Other people, people were talking, and it's just stupid rubbish.
Yeah.
It's just stuff, but they come.
They come.
They love that. That's where they feed. They feed off that.
Yeah.
Insecurity, unworthiness. I'm not good enough. I have to be better. And the industry does that to you as well. It's like, you put on a bit of weight there, girl. You better go to a spa and lose 100 pounds, And it's just a lot, and your clothes, and you've got to look good, and you've got to be this and that. And that's why all the girls are doing so much plastic surgery nowadays.
Collagen in the lips.
Collagen in the lips and boobs and everything, and wearing the least possible clothes that they possibly can.
Yeah.
Because it's got to be so much that it's like, oh my God, I've got to beat this one, and I've got to beat that one. I've got to be more than this one, and I've got to be more than that. And it's like, oh my God, Beyonce did this. Oh my God, I better do this. So you're constantly being told that you're not good enough.
And, as creatives, I think this is I've said this before in the past. I think the curse of creatives is that I'm never good enough.
Of course it is.
Because you're your own worst critic.
Of course you are. It's like, oh my God, my song wasn't that great. And
they didn't
am I
like
going to put this out?
Like
And maybe
me.
they don't like it, and maybe they're not going to like me. I mean, I should have really fallen apart in LA, especially because in LA, I was so damn good when I arrived in LA. I was like top form. I was 33 years old. I looked fantastic. I sounded fantastic. I could hit anything. I mean, I worked with Trevor Rabin, and Trevor Rabin's a big star.
Yeah.
He's like a huge known act, and we were doing an album together, and he thought I was the bee's knees. And the industry were like, no, you're too old. You're 33. God, we're not going to sign a 33-year-old, or you're mad. They just started working with Britney Spears and signing her fetus. I swear to God. Okay?
Yeah.
Britney Spears and the Backstreet Boys and all that stuff was coming out. But amongst all that was the Sheryl Crows,
Yeah.
the Nirvanas, the
Listen
Pearl
to-
Jams.
Yeah.
The singer-songwriters were starting to
Rise again.
implode.
Yeah.
And that was where I thought, okay. And this one guy from a record company said, "You are fantastic. You're incredible. My God, you're a singer. My God, you play." He said, "But it's just been a signing of a girl with a 12-string. Her name's Melissa Etheridge, and we can't sign two girls with a 12-string."
Oh, of course not, right?
Oh, God, America's so small, you couldn't possibly have two girls with a 12-string now. So I was being told that you're amazing, fantastic, you're brilliant, but we're never going to be able to work with you. So what does that do to a person?
Yeah.
Either you go, "Oh my God, it's never going to happen for me. I'm never going to get anywhere. I might as well just crawl into a hole and die." So there's that option. Or you say, "I don't give a shit. I am just going to go and do what I do because I have no choice. I don't have a choice." Because the other option is like, "No, thank you. Been there, done that, seen hell, been through it, and I'm done." And I guess you get to that point where those voices are not louder than your voice. And your voice is saying, "You are fine. You've got this.
She's doing well.
She's doing well." And that was the whole thing about that song. And for now, there's a survivor in here. And for now, she's doing well. For now.
For now. Wow.
And that's all that matters, because for now, isn't this where we're at? We're sitting here for now. In this room, we're talking about this. That's all that matters. Because we don't know what's going to happen in an hour from now.
We don't. I think about that a lot.
I
Singing,
do.
especially when I was on vacation just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
You're constantly thinking about, I'm going to do this next, I'm going to
Yes,
do that
of
next.
course.
And I don't know if you're like this, but I'm
Oh, God,
make a
yes.
list. I'm going to do this, this, and this, and this, and this. Sometimes I go to bed at night and go, "No, tomorrow I'm doing this, and I'm doing that, and I have to do this, and I'm doing that." And the next thing you know, you're laying there and it's an hour and you haven't slept yet. But it's so hard to just enjoy the now,
It's very difficult.
this moment, which is really all we have.
There was a book by Eckhart Tolle called The Power of Now.
Power of now. I got to read it.
It just says it all, there's thousands of books out there. There's Buddhas and there's Tayos, and then there's so much stuff out there that we can hold on to.
Yeah.
And, this helps me with peace. Tina Turner was a Buddhist. She
Yeah.
said, "Every morning I say my mantras. I do this, and it puts me in the space.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever works. I don't care if it's Jesus or it's Buddha or it's Mustafa. Whoever it is, whatever works for you. Do it. Be real with yourself. Don't lie to yourself, and just be there for yourself and for your family and for whoever else you want to be there for. But first and foremost, if you can't be there for you and you can't bolster yourself up when you need it most, then you can't be there for anybody.
This is the best advice I think we've ever had on the show.
Wow.
Cindy, thank you. That's awesome.
No, but it's true. It's
It is
just
so true. God bless you. That's awesome. Well, let's listen to another song. My dad is a big fan of yours. My dad lives in Ohio, north of Columbus, and he's 89 years old.
Wow.
Adores you.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
And his favorite song is Winchester County Line, which is on this new album. Can you play that?
I'm going to have to play that for him.
Dave. His name was Dave, too.
Really?
Is
he Dave 1 and you Dave 2, or
No.
you Dave Jr.?
He was David Eugene, and I didn't have a middle name. So,
Okay. So you just David.
They didn't want a junior, I guess. So I'm just Dave. Yeah. My mother-in-law called me David.
Really? But you are Dave.
My dad would call me Davy. Hey, Davy.
I've done that always. I've got a friend, Doug. I've called him Dougie always.
Dougie.
Dougie, hey, Dougie.
Yeah.
Everybody says, "Oh, you Dougie." He says, "Well, my real name's Doug, but she calls me Dougie."
Go, "Hey, Davy, baby." We were playing baseball,
I love
Davy,
it.
baby. Yeah.
It was hard to shorten my name. It was Cindy, Sins. My friend Paul, who I live at Paul's house, he's a fantastic person. He calls me Cinderella. Hello, Cinderella. It's very New York. Hey, Cinderella, come down from the roof. We don't want you killing yourself today,
Oh, man. Tell us about the writing of this song. I remember the first time I heard this song, it blew me away. I think we was at the Commodore
Really?
Grill one night. And I thought, there's a great song, you know? I think you should release this to Americana radio because this would be a huge hit. You should.
That resonates with me a lot.
You should.
This song also came to me like out of the blue. The story, I was thinking about other people's hard lives. Mm-hmm. It's all very well said, I've had a hard life, it's been tough, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Some other people have had worse. But yours is yours, so you must take ownership of that. Mm-hmm. You know, when people say, oh my God, I shouldn't complain because there's homeless people on the streets. Yeah, but you are battling right now with your stuff. So you can't do anything about the homeless person on the street. You can only do something about yourself right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know what I was thinking about some mining town somewhere up north where it gets cold, it is hard work, it is a bitter life, and all you can do is your best.
Yeah.
And that's where this one came from. It was such a story for me. I wanted to tell the story. And that was one of my first big songs I wrote here in Nashville.
Wow.
That I think just took that next step to the next level of what I write. Mm. Thank you.
Got to hear it now.
Thank you so much for that.
Cindy Alter on the Songwriter Connection. Honored to have you here.
I've been looking for answers in the strangest of places, and I don't know how I'm gonna survive. This bird by the window looks like he's barely alive. My daddy's been mining for 45 years. His fingers are stained with blood, sweat, and tears. There's a God up there somewhere. Looks like he's biding his time. It's been a long winter on the Winchester County line. Soothe my soul, make me whole, 'cause I'm in deeper than I know. Take these chains off my feet and just give me peace. My sister loves hard, more than you know. She's given her heart, given her soul, man, she tries. You can see the long shadow in her eyes. Another long winter on the Winchester County line. Soothe my soul, make me whole. I'm in deeper than I know. Take these chains off my feet and just give me peace. Little by little, day after day, they just keep coming my way. Blood is thicker than water. Well, that's what they say. Well, the wind here blows hard, and there ain't much time, 'cause I'm on the road that leads to the sky, and as soon as I get there, I know it'll all be alright. It's been a cold winter on the Winchester County line. Soothe my soul, make me whole. I'm in deeper than I know. Take these chains off my feet and just give me peace. Soothe my soul, make me whole. I'm in
Amazing. Amazing.
Wow.
Love
Thank
it.
you so
I absolutely
much.
love that song. And I absolutely adore you, Cindy.
Oh, Dave, I adore you. We just connected from the first get-go.
Really?
When I
Right?
met you, I just thought, this is a person, a human being. And you're talented, of course. And you were just so kind and accepting of me. And for me, I was still new in Nashville. So I'm still trying to make connections, network, if you like to call it, and meet people and stuff. And just some of them just stepped forward for me and just said, hi, I'm in your corner.
I'm in your corner.
Oh.
Steve is in your corner. Steve
Yeah.
Creech, thanks for joining us today. I wanted to hear a lot more songs, but we talked, and it was just so great conversation.
It is what it is, darling. I
So you'll
think
come
the
back.
songs that we did now are exactly what I wanted people to hear.
And I love where you're at right now. And I think there's more to come. Great stuff to come.
Thank
I know
you
there is.
so much.
I'm so honored to be playing with you at the Bluebird on November the 6th.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
This is the 23rd, the day this song, this episode releases. So it would be the 30th. I think it's a week before.
That's perfect.
And they sell out in 5 minutes. So 8 o'clock beyond to get your Bluebird tickets. We're the 6 o'clock show with Billy Lee and Scott Barrier, and I just cannot wait. Cindy, thank you so much.
What a
All the best with this
pleasure.
new record. Find it in the book too. No substitute. Renegades and Vagabonds. Cindy Alter, our guest on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, Dave.
Love ya.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve.
We hope you enjoyed this intimate glimpse into the world of songwriting and found inspiration in the stories shared by our talented guests. Remember, the magic of music lies not only in the notes and chords, but in the emotions and experiences woven into every lyric. Until next time, keep listening, keep creating, and keep the melodies alive.